Everyone loved the moments where you feel like you're the ultimate badass boss and can kill anyone or anything. These are the games where power is in your hands and every attack is a death blow. The feeling of being an unstoppable warrior capable of killing anyone is extremely satisfying. That's why I have made a list of 12 games with the most amazing combat that will make you feel like an unstoppable badass. There are some bonus games as well at the end, so let's look at the first game on our list. Ghost of Tsushima. It's no doubt that the game provides a one-man army character. You're basically a samurai that has all the power in the world and can rival an entire army with your katana. One of the major highlights is that unlike other awesome linear games, this time you have an entire world to explore. I love the feeling of wandering around and killing whoever comes in my way. Now, I do agree that you're not some superhero or possess superpowers, but still Tsushima gives you complete freedom of exploration and gives you a lot awesome abilities. The Ghost option is a game changer. The developers did an amazing job to make the game stand out with these so-called Ghost abilities. You can use different weapons like you're some sort of a ninja. There's an advanced roster filled with kunais, poison darts, smoke bombs. I believe it was the best decision ever to include both shinobi and samurai stuff. Imagine exploring the open world and clearing outposts in stealth mode by sneaking around and killing enemies one by one. We all love being a ninja and are extremely fond of their abilities. That's why in almost every ninja or samurai game, you get an unstoppable feeling that you're the strongest and can take on any enemy. By the end of the game, Jin Sakai will become extremely strong and will have a big arsenal filled with insane weapons. The whole idea of roaming as a ghost on the Tsushima island terrorizing the Mongols is a next level feeling. Finally, I don't think there's any need for game's description because we all know the greatness of Ghost of Tsushima. Everything is taken up a notch here in terms of graphics, visuals, storyline, gameplay. You can never get bored and will keep on experiencing amazing battles and character development. Doom Eternal. Everyone knows how awesome it is to smash your enemies with a variety of powerful weapons. Doom Eternal is yet another similar game to Shadow Warrior. Here, you will also be shooting skulls in first-person mode. The game lets you use several weapons each with their own special powers. Doom Eternal is the pinnacle FPS genre. You have an all-out package that has everything that the genre has to offer. It's one of those games that you can buy and will have the ultimate FPS experience.
Long enough to survive this cursed season.
The fast-paced shooting and rhythmic beats or soundtracks enhances the experience, resulting in having an insane blast. I always say to everyone that if you can adjust your pace with the rhythm of Eternal, then no one can stop you from having an adrenaline pumping action. Every corner there's a demon lurking. You will feel like an absolute beast while killing waves of enemies. Every gun feels perfectly tuned, every level is impeccably paced. Now, the availability is the best thing. The game is available on multiple platforms: PS5, PS4, PC, Xbox, Nintendo. You could say that Eternal is a standard for every FPS game. Every modern FPS game should meet its requirements. The game is smooth, and the controls let you easily move around the battlefield and destroy demons along the way. It's simple to switch between weapons and chain attacks to defeat a larger number of demons. Metal Gear Rising. I'll always be amazed by this game as it's the best spin-off I have ever played. Being a hardcore Metal Gear fan, the Rising was such a fresh experience and felt like I'm the strongest ninja on the battlefield. The game offers so much, and you can't ever say that it's a disappointing title. Surely it's not your usual Metal Gear stuff, but the amount of fun you can have in this game is nothing short of awesome. As a robotic ninja, your main task is to reach to the final boss and kill him to stop the outrage. There's not much of a storyline here, as the game's main focus is to let the players enjoy a thrilling sense of fast-paced combat with slashing enemies into pieces. If I'm being honest, then this is one of those games that is a must-play for everyone if you're a fan of some hack and slash combat. I was immensely satisfied after finishing it, as the entire experience was jam-packed with difficulty and intense combat. Now, the developers did an amazing job perfecting everything so that the gamers don't get bored. They gave us a short campaign, but it was worth it as the cutscenes and combat felt outstanding. Also, this reminds me that Metal Gear Rising's another best highlight are the cutscenes. The game offers cinematic cutscenes with some of the best visuals that doesn't do justice with its release date. Judging by the look of everything, you can't tell that this game was made in 2013. Even after a decade, it's highly playable and quite underrated. So I hope that more players give a shot and experience the difficult combat. Shadow Warrior 3. Here we have an underrated game that's all about killing enemies in style. That's it, you heard it right. Your main job is to get to the next location by cheesing your way through waves of enemies. If there's one thing that gives us a feeling of strongest character, then it's the powers and fights. Shadow Warrior 3 does everything perfectly and gives you a fresh linear experience where you don't have to engage in any deep storylines, but rather smash skulls and shoot monsters. From start to end, you will see different monsters and will also get several weapons along with some awesome abilities. As a player, you are tasked with completing the storyline, which only serves as a base because the main stuff are the powers and killing in style. Now, there are two major highlights of this game. The first one is the banger soundtracks in the background. The game enhances the overall feeling of killing enemies by playing a killer soundtrack in the background. It's so good to slash through various enemies on the beat of soundtrack. The second best highlight is the cool weapons and powers. Shadow Warrior 3 offers many different weapons such as swords, blades, guns, which you can use to kill monsters in style. All these weapons have different movesets, which makes the game engaging as you're not bound by just one single arm. You can choose whatever suits your taste. Along with the weapons, there are some cool magical powers which are extremely helpful in the playthrough. The only reason I'm mentioning the latest installment is because it's the best one in the series, as it provides enhanced graphics and visuals along with the finest gameplay. The main character is quite humorous and will make the experience joyful with his jokes and punchlines. Now, the reason I'm mentioning the latest installment in Shadow Warrior series is because it's the best one, as it provides enhanced graphics and visuals along with the finest gameplay. The main character is also quite humorous and will make the experience joyful with his jokes and punchlines. Prototype. What can I say, guys? This is one of my most favorite underrated open world game. I will always be thankful for getting the chance to play Prototype. Now, just to give a little bit of info about the game's structure, then Prototype is an open world game where you're the ultimate main character with supernatural powers. You basically got some crazily awesome powers because of a scientific experiment. It's amazing to see that the developers put so much work into this game and gave us some of the coolest video game powers. I totally love the concept of transforming your hands into weapons of destruction. Throughout your playthrough, you will unlock many cool abilities such as blades, whip, and hammer, which will prove to be helpful against different enemies or monsters. The game offers free roam, which is the best highlight, as you can explore the city and kill civilians with your newfound powers. You can also use environmental objects to throw on enemies. If I have to summarize everything, then I would say that Prototype is all about causing mayhem and finishing the main story. In terms of difficulty, it's quite basic but still provides a challenging experience. Now, there are two parts, but I definitely recommend playing the first one, as it's the best title in my opinion. I just love the main character as he looks super awesome. Infamous Second Son, we are doubling down on the topic of coolest video game powers. Infamous is a game that is known for the introduction of awesome powers. You're basically a Spider-Man, but made of concrete and neon. The game offers a big open world that is under the control of enemies, and your task is to tackle different situations and complete several missions. One of the best things is the addition of the karma feature. You can't just go all berserk mode and use your powers to kill civilians or do bad deeds. The game judges you for your work and will have counter effects depending on your choices. Your decisions will change cutscenes, some missions or mechanics. Not gonna lie, it's kind of sad as I really wanted to use those cool powers to have fun with the NPC just like in GTA or Prototype, but hey, it's alright. Anyways, Infamous is a game that you only need to play if you love parkour and free running combining with some of the coolest powers in video game history. This is a game where your only job is to just run around and have fun with your powers while showcasing some cool parkour moves. All 4 powers play a huge role in the gameplay. The best thing about these powers is that they all have different uses. The protagonist also looks super awesome while using these powers. By the way, take a shot of a non-alcoholic drink every time I say powers in this video, but anyways, the best powers are definitely video and smoke. Most of the enemies are humans, or let's just say military soldiers and robotic vehicles. If you are in a mood for some open world fun and don't want to get bored, then Infamous Second Son will be your prime choice. You can just sit back and enjoy cruising through the open world. Devil May Cry 5. DMC5 is the definition of unstoppable awesomeness. Those dialogues and punchlines makes you feel that no monster is a match for you. Devilish arm, sibling rivalry, awesome battles, what more do you want? The game is the literal definition of how you can have fun by killing monsters in style and experiencing amazing cutscenes. EMC series is known for a lot of things, and even the previous installments have their own special stuff, but this time the developers enhanced everything and gave us all the main characters and a final tribute. I was so happy to play a full-fledged DMC game with high-level graphics and a seamless gameplay experience. The chance to play as all the main DMC characters is the best thing. It's so good to play different missions with different characters and ending the game with one of the most stunning video game battles. The fight between Virgil and Dante was pure love. Every blow felt crazy as there was so much build-up throughout the installments. The game is a prime example of how hack and slash games should be. It was such a nice feeling to use different powers of all the characters, whether it be Nero's Devil Arm or Dante's Sparta. Let us know in the comments about your favorite Dante's weapon. Mine are the nunchucks and bike. Finally, in a certain way, the game kind of gives you an entire DMC experience. It tells you what the series is about. It has everything in an updated and enhanced manner. Though, what more do you need besides Dante's Michael Jackson dance? Asura's Wrath. If you have played this one, then mad respect to you. Asura's Wrath is a fairly underrated game, and especially something that's hidden behind the eye of modern gamers. I bet not many of you know about this game. And here's a cool fact that this game offers some of the most gigantic video game bosses of all time. This is one of those games that you can say is a replica of God of War. If you're looking to see references about Eastern culture such as Asian, Hinduism, Buddhism, then Asura's Wrath got you all, as there is a lot of mythological stuff. Overall, it's got a great storyline and perfect visuals. The game almost feels like a movie with a classical soundtrack. Honestly, I'm not sure if most of you will like this game as it's quite old, but if you can adjust and see the ending, then I'm sure you'll be more than happy and consider this game as one of the finest experience. My favorite feature are the boss fights, as I can't stress it enough, but they felt too good to be true. Such high-level fights with fitting soundtracks, and the best final boss of video games.
I am wise
Low-key, I would also really recommend playing the DLC as it's got something amazing and highly related to the Street Fighter games. I won't spoil anything, but if you're a fan of Street Fighter games, then you must try out the DLC. Nevertheless, I just want to say that you guys should play this game solely because of the storyline, art design, visuals, and voice acting. Ninja Gaiden series. Whenever you hear the word ninja, it's almost clear that the game is going to be amazing. There's no doubt that the feeling of playing as a ninja is all-time best. Using different weapons such as shurikens, kunais, smoke bombs is just crazy, and when you combine all this with the stealth mechanics, then the results are almost a masterpiece. And well, in this video, we are specifically talking about becoming an unstoppable fighter. So, without a doubt, Ninja Gaiden series is a must-play as it offers multiple installments with the main focus of difficult battles. Now, we are not going to go about which one's the best, as every player have their own preferences. The series is all about completing missions and moving forward while making your way through enemies and monsters. Honestly, it's certainly not the best ninja theme series, but it's definitely a must-play if you have played all the major Shinobi games. 2024 will be a great time to go back to the old roots of ninja games and have an awesome experience. I am just so grateful that the developers made such a game in a ninja style. Fans like me who prefers ninja themed games will absolutely love this game. Sure, the graphics are outdated, but they will still provide a good enough experience. Gotcha. Also, the newest game in the series has standard graphics and visuals with a touch of improved gameplay mechanics, so even if you don't like the older games, you still have an option to start playing the recent part. Nevertheless, Ninja Gaiden will serve as a wonderful experience full of sci-fi RPG, monsters, and much more. So there's no reason to sleep on it. Get your copy and start playing the game. Yakuza Kiwami 2. Yakuza series is widely known for its satisfying combat and jam-packed open world. There's something happening at every corner and the streets are filled with the Yakuza guys. Every title in the series is the best in its own way. However, this time we are talking about one of the best Yakuza in the entire franchise. It was so satisfying to kill enemies with flashy attacks. Every fight felt like a brawl. If you're someone who has never played the Yakuza series, then in short, I would say that this series is all about story, combat, and side activities. You will be amazed to see how much work the developers have put in perfecting every feature. The tightly open world feels too big to explore because there is enough side content to keep you busy for several hours. Karaoke, tournaments, Yakuza encounters, side missions, there's a lot of features besides the main game that I just can't describe. Overall, every single game has something different to offer in the entire franchise, so if you are new to the series, make sure to play the games in chronological order to have an amazing experience. God of War. Kratos is the ultimate definition of an awesome video game character. We have all come a long way from seeing him single to finally becoming a father. It's heartwarming to look back and realizing how far we have come about Kratos' journey. The 2018's part offers everything in the best possible way. Now, just to clarify, Ragnarok is definitely the best pick and offers more than 50 bosses, but we just can't get over the 2018's installment. So if you're in a mood for some more action, then surely dive into the most recent Ragnarok. However, if you haven't played God of War yet, then you're missing out a lot. I can't stress this enough, but this game is the perfect mixture of story, combat, and cutscenes. From start to end, you grow in terms of strength and other aspects by upgrading stats. So towards the end, Kratos just turns into a whole nother being in strength. The amount of fun you're gonna have on the father-son journey is nothing short of amazing. It's filled with intense battles, amazing characters, stunning areas with beautiful visuals. Seeing Kratos grow and experience fatherhood is such a heartfelt, as we all know this is the character who slayed multiple gods without any remorse. Loki, the prime Kratos, would never have thought that someday he will be calling his son boy all the time. In fact, the second boss fight basically tells you about what's in store for you in this game. Baldur's fight was such a treat and a complete shock to introduce such a high level fight in the first 30 minutes. Now, before we talk about the last game in today's video, here are some honorable mentions, starting out with none other than the dark horse of From Software, Bloodborne. This is a game that will smack you with intense difficulty, and every boss fight will feel such a rewarding accomplishment. The game is filled with difficult enemies and areas, so the feeling you get after learning the mechanics and defeating certain bosses is pure hard work. Low-key, Bloodborne is definitely not the best choice for casual gamers. I will recommend playing other Souls game before getting your hands on this one. You will be looking at the death screen for hours if you don't learn and perfect the movesets. Learning enemy attack patterns and dodging are the key tips here. Now, another one we have is Bayonetta 3. I was actually going to go with Nier Automata, but I realized how can I skip the most loved video game, mommy? Bayonetta series is all about killing enemies in style. The game is the literal definition of style and fun. The outfits and powers are top notch. I honestly don't think that the game is for everyone, but if this was in your wish list, then this is your time to buy a copy and start playing. The third part is the most recent and features high visuals and a seamless gameplay. Despite all this, the only downside is the availability. The game is only playable on Nintendo, so you're in luck if you own Nintendo. If not, then just play other games from this list. Now, coming up next is another masterpiece Souls game, Sekiro. No matter what words I use, I can't perfectly describe the combat of this game. Sekiro is the pinnacle of sword combat, as it's intensely difficult and extremely satisfying. From start to end, it was crazy to face so many different bosses. This is my only From Software game that I completed for 4 times. Every playthrough is amazing and shows new secrets. Low-key, if you are struggling, then just learn the parry mechanics and use whirlwind skill. These two things got me through some tough situations and made my playthrough easier. Sekiro and Bloodborne are the only 2 best Souls game of all time. No other Souls game come close to the level of combat this game possesses. It's crazy that you can complete the game with just your sword, but if you suck, then even a bazooka won't be able to help you. Mortal Kombat 11. Mortal Kombat is the pinnacle of ripping your opponent's heart out and smashing their skulls. Now, I do agree that the most recent Mortal Kombat 1 contains updated stuff, but it just felt right to mention the 11th part. No moment is wasted, as every cutscene feels like a movie. I believe it's almost a crime not to play even one installment of Mortal Kombat series. We all know the popularity, as there are even movies about it. The series is almost 2 decades old. In fact, I never played such an intense fighting game. Mortal Kombat will grasp you with its big roster of characters and different fatalities. It's sad that I can't show the gore stuff, otherwise YouTube will restrict the video. However, you are surely in a treat for some intense fun filled with blood and X-ray visuals. Different characters have their own special abilities and punchlines. Therefore, it's always interesting to see them taunt each other with various dialogues and jokes. So all in all, Mortal Kombat 11 is a great game if just want to spend hours playing a cool, brutal and gory fighting game. Alright, this finishes our list of 12 games that make you feel like an unstoppable badass warrior. You will be thrilled to play these games, as every single title offers extremely satisfying combat filled with intense gameplay and difficulty. These are the games that you will fall in love with if you are a fan of fast-paced combat packed with soundtracks and challenges. Anyways, if you have made this far, then please subscribe, as I'm close to reaching 16,000 subscribers. Now that was all for this video. Have a good day, and I will see you later.